Alright guys, so here's what the buttons do in live play. So you press the accelerator button or the throttle button, your car accelerates as such, okay? Like that. You press and hold the brake button, it stops you. So if I'm going forward, I press the brake button, it stops. Basically, the brake button is mainly a reverse button. So you would press and hold the brake, it not only stops you, but it also puts you in reverse, okay? So that's mainly all it does. It's not useful to use in the game unless you're purposely trying to use it for some reason, for whatever reason, but it is not helpful in your race. Just know that, all right? So that's what that does. Let's see, jump. Okay, so jump is you just press the jump button, your car jumps, okay? You just jump, it goes up. Because the thruster is the same button, you press and hold it, your car jumps and thrusts in the air, see? So you press and hold, you can float, you can kind of float, you can kind of stay there. If you notice that gas meter, it's limited. Now it resets every time you land or touch a surface. So if you are floating and you touch a surface of some sort, it'll reset back to 100%. So you're limited on thrust based on how many times you touch a wall after or in between touching surfaces. One thing I did mention in the control setups, if you want to coast further. So down means nose up, up means nose down. So if you want to get to the ground faster, tilt up on your joystick. See, it's nosing down, and I don't last as long in the air nosing down. So if I'm up in the air again, I go up, I want to nose down, up. If I nose up, yeah, nose down, it puts me down. When you nose up, which for my controls means down, I'm tilting back. Look at that. See, I'm coasting in the air a long time by tilting my nose up. So remember, you got to set it whether it's up or down, being nose up or nose down. Personal preference, but my up means down and down means up for me. All right. So that's the idea with jump and thrusters. Now we're going to go over turbo. If you notice, there's 3 bright lights on the bottom left. Okay, those are the meters for the turbo by the lightning bolt. So I got 3 turbos filled up. They filled up over time. So when you press the turbo button, your car thrusts forward. Boom. So watch that. See, I go flying forward. Now if you notice, the turbo button was flickering again a second time. So I pressed it, then it started flickering. That means when you see that flickering, that means which happens a couple seconds later, you press the button again, it tops off your turbo with an extra finishing boost, okay? So as such, I'll do it again. So you press it, wait for the button to flicker, press it again, see, boosted. It basically gives you an extra 200 kph when you top it off. If you press the button if you press your turbo button and you start thrusting and it thrusts you forward and you press it outside of the moment where the button flickers, it's going to say missed. Or if you don't press it at all, it'll expire. There's a time limit for when you can repress that button to use it. So as such, watch. I press it and then I press it again too early. See, it says missed. So you don't want to be anxious and just rapidly pressing your turbo button. You want to press it once, wait, and then do it again. So here, my next turbo is coming up. So there. So I press it, I wait, see the num button, press it again, boom. Alright, so that's with turbo. Rocket drift. So rocket drift is force drift. So as I said before, let's see if I can perform it, because I don't got a whole lot of room. So if I want to drift right, and I just hold my joystick to the right, it starts putting me into a drift, okay, on its own. It takes a few seconds, but it does. But that is not ideal. Okay, so what you'd want to do is, let's say you were just driving and you want to drift right, you press right and then press the drift button. Okay, left, press the drift button, it drifts you. Okay, so that's mainly what that is. So that gives you more control, so you know when to drift. Your drift button is going to be the most important button all throughout this game. All right, I'm going to go over some more of the demonstrations of some of the more advanced tips and tricks and things like that of how to use it, but these are just the button sequences that I'm just demonstrating for right now. Okay, so I went over turbo, rocket drift. Okay, so air dodge. There's no walls to mount to here. Maybe actually I can do it over here. Let me see if I can do it. So if you're near a surface, yeah, I think I can do it up here. Yeah, I can probably do it right here. So if there's a surface close by and you want to mount to it, right air dodge. See? It mounts you. So it magnetizes you. All right? So if we pretend there's a right wall right here you want to mount to, right air dodge. See? It gets you there. So it only happens when you're in the air. When you're on the ground, it doesn't do anything. But because I'm farther away from a wall to the left or no wall at all, and I press left in air dodge, it's just going to side flip me, okay? It's just going to side flip me. See? Same thing. So I'm floating in the air, right air dodge. See? It makes me side flip. So it's good for a positioner as well. So if you're too far to the left and you want to side flip to the right to get to the right side of the track faster, you can use air dodge. So as long as there is no terrain right there that's too close, it'll just flip. All right. So that's air dodge, which means side flip or wall mount. Air roll. So when you're in the air and you hold your L2 or the air roll button, which is L2 for me, it lets your car rotate. So watch. So I'm pressing any direction, my car just kind of rotates any direction. So when I do it while I'm racing, I can rotate back, I can go backwards, I can go around. Whoops. So L2 kind of does that. You can flip, you can turn to the side. Yeah, but basically that's what air roll does. There's more advanced tricks for it. So basically, like, you can do air rolls and things like that. Air roll is mainly for some advanced tricks. You don't have to really mess with that, and I wouldn't mess with that in the middle of your race unless you really know what you're trying to accomplish, because it'll just slow you down outside of that. But that's just kind of what air roll does. Another thing, let's say I'm going off the edge and I know I'm going to my death and I don't want to wait for my death, I can just vehicle reset, okay? So I'm just going to go here, I'm not even going to hit the barrier, or oh, I missed a checkpoint or I'm going the wrong way. Just press your vehicle reset button. Press and hold the button and you just do it as such, all right? It's just like in Mario Kart where that little ghost on the cloud comes over and picks you up because you went off the edge. Well, they don't have a reset button, it seems, but this game does. So if you already know you're missing your checkpoint, you can just reset, and you don't have to wait for the countdown if you miss. All right, so that's the main buttons that you need to understand for a live demonstration. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the next